Do whatever you can for her." Dr. Lorna nodded, her eyes softening with quiet determination. "I'll take good care of her, Harry. You've done right by her, bringing her here." They prepared for the surgery in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. Harry stayed with her, as long as he could, sitting by her side, his hand resting on her tiny, frail paw. She seemed calm, even as the minutes ticked by, her breathing slow and steady. He bent down close to her ear, murmuring, "You're a tough little girl. Just a bit more, okay? You've got folks on your side now. Hang in there." When they finally took her back, Harry sat in the waiting room, alone with his thoughts. Each second felt like an hour, and he could do nothing but listen to the quiet hum of the clinic, the distant voices of the staff moving around, the rustle of paperwork. His mind wandered through every outcome, good and bad, unable to settle on anything certain. All he could do was hope that the resilience she'd shown so far would carry her through this one last battle. The clock on the wall ticked on, an hour passing, then two. He'd lost track of time when Dr. Lorna finally stepped back into the waiting room, pulling her gloves off and meeting his gaze. She looked tired, but there was a softness in her eyes that made Harry's heart lift, just a little. "She made it, Harry," Lorna said quietly, a gentle smile breaking through her weariness. "She pulled through. It'll be a long recovery, but she's got a fighting chance now." Harry let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding, feeling his shoulders sag with relief. "Thank you, Lorna," he managed, his voice thick with emotion. She nodded, giving his shoulder a reassuring squeeze. "She's resting now. We'll keep her here a few days, get her stable. Then, if all goes well, you can take her home." Harry followed her back to the room where the dog lay, swaddled in soft blankets, breathing softly. She was still weak, her body small and frail, but there was a quiet strength in her, a spirit that had refused to give up. He watched her sleep, a feeling of peace washing over him. For the first time since he'd found her, Harry felt the faint stirrings of hope. She'd made it through the worst, and now he'd be there for her every step of the way. She wasn't alone anymore, and neither was he.